until they know how much you care. And we show that we care by the things that we do. And today, once again, we have Elder Piaki is back with us, and he's going to share a little information with you all to let you know about some things he's been doing.
All right, hey, how y'all doing out there? This past holiday, I had to take a little break. Um, a young man we were talking yesterday, the other day, and he brought up some points of interest about what he had in mind on future plans, and we got to discussing certain things about how you plan, what you plan, when you plan, and how much time you got to work with. And I tried to explain to him in a simple way, which is one of the ways that you can test any situation, uh, regardless of what it might be. It might be some in the field of education or field of business or anything, but to know where you are first is knowing yourself. And I said, well, there's three things you need to know that would put you in a space of understanding by dealing with a global or universal problem. And I say, first off, you have to understand where you are, and that would be geography. That's one of the lessons. I don't think they teach it in the schools no more, but geography is where you are on this globe, where you are on this planet. The piece of earth that you're standing on, it has a place, a name, it's in a country, it's on land, it's somewhere that's got a name. So knowing where you are first is geography. Then if you're going to deal with the next problem of understanding that, you got to put another discipline with that as known as chronology. Chronology is a way of counting time. So if you know where you are and you know what time it is, then you know there's an outcome from those two things being put together. Chronology is not taught in the schools today, and you can see how some people waste their time and don't get a job completed, don't get some of them projects that is due on time to get completed. So they wasting time because they're not learning and understanding chronology. And the last thing out of understanding all those two pieces that you put together and use them properly, you would come up with a result which would produce something they call artifact. Artifact is a thing or something that you find, something that was used, something that may be new, old, ancient. It gives you three disciplines to understand where you are, what time it is when you saw this artifact. So you will not be misunderstood if you use those three disciplines to explain certain things as far as history, as far as art, as far as inventions, as far as anything that you want to put in a, a chronological category. Like in other words, time is expensive if you don't know what time it is, because you could waste your time. And that's one thing me and the young man talked about. And I told him, I said, well, I had a plan one time, and I did what I heard the Chinese used to do, put you on a 5-year plan. You planning ahead for 5 years. So if you're going to save some money, put it away. Every year you got 5 years, put some money away. Each week you save and you save it. And one thing happened that when I got on that 5-year plan, I wanted to buy a house. But something came within the first 2 years of my 5-year plan that allowed me to get the house sooner. And I don't know if they do it anymore like that. I don't think they do it. They had something called assuming a mortgage, the assumption. You pay the person that owns the property uh, as much as his equity is invested in it, you take over the house payment. And at that time, I took it over. It was a low interest rate, and I got in before my 5-year plan. So all I had to do is just say, using those three things: geography, where you are; chronology, what time it is where you are; and finding out something that you can use or has been used, or something that you may future build in the future to use. But you have to have those three things in place to understand. And you won't go wrong if you use those principles. But they may not be explained in those same terms that I use. But if you don't plan, then you plan to fail. So that's just a little bit of advice. And me and my brother here, he always has a plan.
Well, thank you, Elder Piaki. I really appreciate you. And as you was talking, and you and I often we're talking about some of everything all the time. And I often tell people there is a place and time for everything. And what you have to do, anything worth having, you have to make the time to make it happen. I tell people often, keep hope alive. Keep your dream alive. There's nothing wrong with a dreamer. A lot of times people will try to crush your dream, but don't nobody see the dream but the dreamer. And that dream is something to work on. Hope, you keep hope alive by working on that dream. You don't sleep on it, you don't lay down on it, you don't die on it, you don't let it die. You keep working towards it. And like you say, you got to have some kind of plan, and different things. And I've seen people, I used to watch the home channel. I used to watch people buying houses. And I had in the back of my mind, I wanted to get another home. I had a home at the time, but I just wanted something better than what I had. And there's nothing wrong with that. Everybody wants something better. And you have to prepare for it. You just can't sit down and hope, I wish, I wish. You got to work on things. You got to, it ain't going to come to you. You have to go to it. You have to take what you need to it. You hear people say, take it to it. That's what they mean. You got to get up. There's nothing wrong with dreaming. There's nothing wrong with hoping. But you got to put forth the work. If you want a home, just like he was saying, he was put a friend here was talking, and it put him on a 5-year plan, and doing that 5 years, I'm pretty sure that plan had something to do with saving X amount of dollars, if not bi-weekly, if not every week, bi-weekly, or once a month. And if you could take the time out and you could write down on a piece of paper, if I save this much money from time to time, if I save this much money every time I do something, I take a little something and put to the side. I put, by this time, I will have this amount of money. And this week I have this much. Next week I have that much. Next month I'll have this much. In a year I'll have this much. In the 5 year that like you say, the plan for him was 5 years, but something happened. He was blessed, I'm sure, and things worked out where it worked out for him, where he was able to do it faster than he had anticipated on doing. Something, he made a hit a lick, but they say sometimes hit the lottery, a whirlwind of money just failed, or got a better job and stopped paying more. But he was able to do better at that time. And like I say, often we have to take the time out, save, prep, prepare, and do stuff. You just can't, I can't expect Piaki to see my dream and try to make something happen for me. So we just try to stay focused, try to keep hope alive, and keep working towards and doing things. And no matter what it is, during that particular time as I was watching those channels, I was saving a little money here, saving a little money there, putting up a little here, putting up a little bit there. And as time went on, uh, just before the time came, I thought I was pretty much prepared. But even at that, when the time come, I was able to start looking for a home and start seeing the homes. They wasn't cheap, but as I began to see them and look at them and realize what I had to do, I had to, what they say, get on the grinding stone. I had to start grinding for real then because I didn't quite have enough. So it put me to work. So like I say, you have to work. Yeah, ain't nothing gonna fall out the sky. You got to do it for yourself. Ain't nobody gonna do it for you. How do you tell me? What do you think? I used to tell people, help me help you. If you ain't trying to help your own self, who want to help you?
That's
Don't
true.
nobody want to try to help nobody that ain't trying to help their own self. You expect me to do something for you when you won't do for your own self. So all I'm saying is when people see you, encouragement, all of that's good. But faith without works is dead. You can, I believe, I want, I'm going to have, you could do that all day long and sit right here in this chair and talk that talk. But until you get up and put forth some action, put forth some work, and make something happen, ain't nothing gonna happen. You ain't gonna never get no further than that chair that you sitting in. And like you say, time, you just don't, we gotta stop wasting time. We have to sit up and, well, I got time. I'm on a 5 year plan. I start next year. I'm a party this year. So now I ain't don't have but 4 years. Then in at second year, you start, sometimes things happen. So you can't just take it for granted that everything is going to go smooth, that you're going to be able to do and keep up and stay with the plan that you have because stuff happens. You may get sick, so you may not be able to. But while you're able to do what you need to do, then you have to take the time and do what you need to do. Work, save, you know, even now, before you, let's say, you get that home that you're trying to get, life goes on. You still got to live. You still got to go to work. You still got to live. You got to eat. You got to spend money, to do the necessary things that has to be done day by day. But you take out of that and put a little something to the side. Hello, everyone. This is John Beverly, the businessman with a conscience. I want you to tune in to licmc.net radio every Saturday at 3 o'clock p.m. Also, watch Comcast Xfinity every Saturday at 10:30 a.m. Also, with my friends at the Alculine Village. My newest news is I have a channel on stream.com/London TV Net. 24/7 live streamed TV networks. The name of my station is John B. TV. And remember, this is John Beverly, the businessman with a conscience, where people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And thank you guys for listening.
John Beverly, the Candyman, the businessman with a conscience, on licmc.net radio every Saturday at 3 p.m.
The views and opinions of this program do not reflect